82, 46, 24, 15. Good afternoon, everyone. What do these numbers have in common, or what can anybody say to me about it? Okay, not surprised. All right, according to surveys from the Aberdeen Group, who you're all familiar with, 82% of both industrial and commercial firms both acknowledge that if they were able to increase utilization, it would have a dramatic effect on ROI, increase on ROI. 46% of the customers from the Aberdeen survey acknowledge the fact that they have no idea what their utilization is in their rental management program. 24% of those same customers acknowledge the fact that they let their rentals run past due on a regular basis. They have no control over their past dues. And 15 is the number of days that are average on the past dues that they have no control and let them run over. What I want to show you today is leaders like you share with us how equipment rentals are affecting their long and short-term strategies. Here's a way that we're looking at it right now. Today, the rental process is made up of, basically, is centered around a process that we know is decentralized in most cases. It has varying systems, electronic and manual. It has numerous vendors, which we all agree to that. It has numerous crafts. And finally, it has multiple employees. Okay? With all of these things going on at the same time, we have found that there are reactiveness, fragmented process that creates too much. And what I mean by that is very simply, these organizations routinely rent too much, duplication occurs, 2 forklifts rather than 1, loading and wasted resources. Too long. We already saw that from our Aberdeen survey, that 46% of the customers, or excuse me, 24% of the customers already agree to the simple fact that they have no control over their term dates at an average of 15 days. This results in all unnecessary past dues. It results in invoice accuracy. It leads to several dysfunctional processes. And then finally, too complex. I think we can all agree on that. This reactive process that we know of today is too expensive, too much, too long, and too complex for our people. We call this a fragmented, reactive process. And what we would like to do today is make sure that everybody in the room understands that this is the greatest risk for all you managers, is not knowing how this approach threatens your future goals. This fragmented process creates chaos. We know that. Absolutely no doubt about that. So what we'd like to do today is we would like to effectively get you from today to the future. We want to circumvent this process and get you up to the future. And move this reactive, dysfunctional process and get you on a growth trajectory. Everybody would like to grow. We know that. All right? Getting rid of this program will get us on the type of growth trajectory that we all want. Okay, so the question is this: how do some organizations address these rental risks? Many that we see choose to focus simply on price, okay? And they use what we call a line item price, or lowest price is how they select their rentals. Through a series of studies, we've been able to ascertain that that line item process, reactive process, only has a 1/6 financial impact on the bottom line. The problem of too much, too long, too complex, if mitigated by price only has a 1/6 effect. What this does, this process continues to put you into the abyss. Okay? companies are choosing to work with RSC to bridge the gap between today and the future. And that's really what we're talking about here. How do we get from where we're at today to bridge this gap to the future? Right? They recognize that rental equipment management, good solid rental equipment management, affects employee productivity, engagement, project success, and only by working with RSC will you achieve these goals. This is truly what we call best in class and what it looks like. I'm going to describe it to you. The first goal, first pillar of the bridge is what we call accountability and transparency. What if you have the insight to be able to optimize your rental process, reduce redundancies, late returns, you have data that allow you to make the best strategic equipment decisions. Some of our companies, we're incorporating GPS technology to help them achieve that. Second goal, streamlining the ops process. By streamlining the ops process, let me back up. What if you have a true partner? For example, we've got at RSC, we have a managed services program here where we give you a dedicated advocate that will help maximize your productivity. Most importantly, you'll have a partner in maintaining a safe and efficient environment. And then third, it's the one that everybody likes, the dollar sign. Okay? How do we drive down costs and truly have a program in place that takes care of cost controls, cost reductions? What if you have the right tools in your hand and the right strategy to substantially impact your equipment costs and ROIs? We have a simple program that we incorporate called KPIs. That stands for Key Performance Indicators. And what we do is we gather data on our side, then we pass it on to you, we share it together in a partnership so that it gives you the type of operational control in looking at where the redundancies are at and where the efficiencies at. Because again, all of this cost control and cost reduction leads to an increase in ROI. Companies are choosing to work with RSC because of these goals, and this is our bridge to the future. What we call this is RSC consumption management. And we are seeing companies leveraging savings of 6 times that of what we look at when companies that are incorporating, like we talked about, the 1/6 impact with the cheapest price of line item pricing. This is the bridge that crosses the gap right here, gets you to the other side. What we talk about, and we talk about it pretty regularly, if you truly want to align all the factors and want to move your fragmented process over to a very simple and straightforward rental program that is very important here, proactive rather than reactive. This is what it looks like. RSC, best in class. Oh. You and RSC can make this happen. Let me show you one more numbers play. We recently had a major oil and gas company who incorporated and allowed us to partner with them in consumption management. And I'm going to throw up some numbers here, 35, 25, and 3. This oil and gas company saw a 35% increase in utilization, a 25% decrease in spend in 3 months. Now let's talk about how you and RSC will work to achieve these results. Thank you.